How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you my review for Secret Invasion, Episode 6, the finale, entitled Home. Before going any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos like this one. Gotta tell y'all, I am conflicted. And not because I really want to like the show. I'm conflicted because 38-minute season finale should have been 58 minutes at least 50 minutes. Here's the crazy part. Doesn't feel like it was rushed. It feels like instead of it being a 4-episode series or should I say a 5-episode series, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 should have been together. So instead of a 5-episode series, they stretched it out to 6. To make it even, I don't know. You should have just done 5 episodes. That's just my opinion, because this 38 could have went with the last 38, and it would have made sense. And okay, so this entire series feels like a movie, feels like just a longer movie, because the acting, the caliber of actor in this series alone, fantastic. It rivals Loki and WandaVision. Sincerely, and was it? So when you think about Moon Knight is such a cool interpersonal, just a personal, not even interpersonal, just a personal story of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant. It's that one's kind of personal, but I guess you can say the thing with Fury and his wife Priscilla / Vara is kind of personal as well, right? I know where to begin because I wrote notes here, right? But I'm just conflicted here. And I had to look up the shows that's already come, or the Disney Plus MCU shows that have already come, right? And I was trying to rank them, like who's had the best season finales and who's had the worst. I can tell you who arguably, I know the top 4 shows are. The time for the number 5 can swap depending on how you feel. I can tell you who I'm going to give you a top 3 worst endings, worst season finales at the end of this. Let's talk about the episode. So, obviously, Fury with the Harvest, face to face with Gravik, and there was some good conversation here, right? There was, Gravik explaining where the face is of the person where he got the face. It's the first person he ever killed for Fury, right? And he just, it was kind of odd that Fury didn't know, but we know why Fury didn't know, because it really wasn't Fury, right? And he's saying, this guy had a wife and a kid, and you had me do this. And every person he killed chipped away at him, right? And even Fury was saying that's part of the job, and, it chips away at all of us. And why did you fail us? Now, I do feel like the answer that Gaia Fury gave was something that came from Fury himself. Because remember, the reason why the Skrulls put people in the people pods is so they can dive deeper into their memories. The reason, or this, actually Skrull and Kree people pods, you dive deeper into their memories, you can alter memories, right? But when a Skrull takes a person's visage, they only have short-term things they can go on. So they can't tell you Uncle Ray's favorite food back in the day. No, they can only tell you what the person knows right now and what they're thinking right now. And this whole thing was personal for Fury because Gravik was the youngest person on his team. He felt responsible. That's why he came back. He knew after a couple years of looking for another planet, couldn't find one. And so he knew he had to make home here. But why didn't you do it, Fury? Because he knew that it's a lot simpler to save the lives of 8 billion people than to get them to change their hearts. That actually sounds like Nick Fury 110% throughout this entire series. So that's why we know that Gaia took the image of Fury. She probably had his immediate memories to talk to Gravik. And the Harvest was real. Had all those things and bloods in it. It's too bad that's too blurry for you to see right there, because it has the names that we see: Black Panther, Black Widow, Hulk, the Ebony. I don't know how Ebony Maw's blood was in there, if this was taken at the Battle of Earth, like the very end, because Ebony Maw had been died in space. The cold guy, he had kind of already, like, his hand got cut off, so I can see how they had that. But certain other things didn't make sense. I don't even think Ebony Maw bled. I'm gonna get into that power fight in a minute. That's why the whole budget went into the Super Skrull fight. But they get the suit, and this is when he knows, oh, it's not really Nick Fury, because when he tries to kill him with the abilities, it's like a giant Hulk hand stops him. You see Hulk hand, Drac arm, Thanos arm. They use, who power did they use? They used Carol Danvers' power, right? Ebony Maw's power. See, and that's Mantis's power with the sleep. Here's two things. I'm going to admit that these two things are nitpicking. How the hell do you know how to use Ebony Maw's abilities? How do you know how to use Mantis' abilities? No one knew that Mantis said sleep unless you were with her. That's all I'm going to say. No way. I get it's a callback. I guess you can suspend your disbelief for it. I feel like maybe I'm nitpicking. There was another power that guy used that looked like teleportation. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a Flash Step from Bleach, where you just and she's on the ground looking all cool and whatnot. But yeah, she gets revenge for her papa and her mama, saying you killed them. He's like, oh, you look just like him. Shut up. He did, right? And she frees everybody. I'm gonna get into, let's talk about Fury and his wife Priscilla / Vara before I get into the freed people. Or maybe I should talk about what was going on in the meantime with that, right? I'll talk about what happened in the meantime with that. The meantime with that was Sonya and Fury working together to get Rhodie, in a position where, we can pop, take him out. Or at least get the president to call off the strike. Because Rhodie, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not noticing in the first episode that he was talking mad shit. Then throughout this whole entire time, Skrull Rhodie is just an a-hole. Which makes me wonder if it was Skrull Rhodie who had convinced Sam to give up Cap's shield. Now you're going to be questioning everything, right? Cannot wait to get into that. But let's talk about this. And so they do get him cornered. And you notice, I don't know how Nick did it. I guess he had on an invisible cloak. Because even Gravik say, no invisible shield, no invisible this and that, blah, 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 blah. Because it was Guy. And he was putting the agents to sleep. Sonya didn't reveal that she knew that Skrull Rhodie was Skrull Rhodie until the end. Like, yeah, you had to be in Skrull because you didn't check the doors. And so the president, who was a complete, total, I'm 3, 2, 1, 8 minutes in, he's a complete, total dumbass. The president, Ritson, is a dumbass. Stupid character. And as for much trash as Skrull Rhodie said, he doesn't even know, when to wipe his butt without me telling him. It's true. It is actually true. Dude is an idiot. Because they tell him, yo, that's a Skrull. Even his own, another aide came in earlier. Tell him that could have been a false flag attack. It was a false flag attack. And dude, they already put the thing in to put the nuke down at the thing and the place and the people at the Skrull compound, where the people also being held and innocent Skrulls are there. Which fake Nick Fury even saw all the dead Skrulls and stuff, right? That Gravik had killed. But Sonya's like, what do you have to lose? And even Nick Fury says the same thing. Either you blow it up in this World War III, or nothing happens. And they can put me in jail, and you can bomb them if you want. Which Nick Fury got to pop that fake Skrull Rhodie right in the head. Pow! And he's like, oh God, give me the phone. And what follows is this jackass goes on TV, says, oh, it's Skrulls, we know who you are, and we're gonna kill all of you. Which then leads to people killing everybody, not just Skrulls that still want to help us, but people who they just want to kill just because, but oh, you're a Skrull, pop. The woman who was being impersonated got freed, and she ended up dying, like her ended up dying for real. Idiot. And I love that Fury says that's real one-term president stuff. That where if you care about him, you get him off my blah, 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 blah. God. Horrible, just horrible ass president. That character sucks. Probably why General Thunderbolt Ross is going to be president in the Captain America movie. That's not really a spoiler, people. That has been talked about. Look it up. He's going to be president. President Red Hulk. Red Hulk. Which I have no issues with. That's going to be a fun take to see in the MCU for sure. Harrison Ford's playing him after the other John Hurt, William Hurt, passed away. Just guess you can. I was gonna say something about Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, you're cool, but you're too crotchety, which makes you perfect for Thunderbolt Ross. Like, enjoy your life, dude. You're Han Solo. I get that you hate all your old roles. People love them. Chill out. Chill the F out. I digress. The next thing I was going to talk about was Fury and his wife. Fury and Priscilla, Fury and Vara, right? Because he calls her before they go through with the mission. And it's one of those awkward things, right? Ooh, I went too far in my notes. It's one of those awkward things, right? Where, she's asking, are you coming back home? And he's like, I'm going to let you go now. And she even said, you don't have to if you don't want to. And he's just saying, be careful, take care of yourself, darling, blah, blah, blah. And it was almost like a goodbye. Like, I might not live through this. And that's kind of what adds credence to us believing that it was the actual Fury meeting with Gravik. But towards the end, he comes to the house, with Skrull blood all on the doors and stuff. And he says sorry to her. I'm sorry I left you alone. And she's like, I can take care of myself. And he says, yeah, you can, but you shouldn't have to. Smooth Nick Fury, baby. And he asked her for forgiveness. I love that this Nick Fury. This is why MCU Nick Fury technically is like the best Nick Fury, because I don't want to say he's far off from Nick Fury, not just white Nick Fury, not just him, like the Nick Fury from 1610 from those comics, and Nick Fury Jr., who's in the main 616. He understands when he messes up, and while he does the dirty work, he will do the dirty work like every other Nick Fury for sure. He has you see more of his human side than the other ones. Like, all of them are good guys, but this one feels like a better guy, a better man. And so he's apologizing. He's saying, forgive me, come back, blah, 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 blah. And she doesn't know, because when he's gone, she knows who she is. When he's there, she doesn't know. And he's like, you know what? You know where to find me if you feel like forgiving me. And before he shoots up into space, after he chews out that dumbass president, she comes and they meet up, and she's like, I want to use my real name because everybody knows who Skrulls are. And then she shows her, her Skrully face. And she just wanted to tell you that I love you as I am. And he goes, only as you are. And she got all these sharp people. I tell you, the human men in the MCU got a thing for green women. Like Gamora, She-Hulk, Vara. But he asked her to come with him so she can be an ambassador, because she's the best peacekeeper that the Skrulls have. And when she tells Nick, well, you have your own way of doing things. Yeah, but I'm tired of them. And I like that he's like, another thing that I think that Gaia Fury actually took from the real Fury, when he got blipped out, it was relief. He could stop fighting. I think that was actually true. All the words that she spoke as him, I think those were his actual feelings. Just someone else was saying them. My opinion. But she's a great diplomat. She wants his help starting up the whole thing, because apparently the Kree are willing to come to a treaty. So we are entering a period in the MCU where, I forgot to mention this, Sonya finds Guy after all of this, wants to work with her. Of course, they take a jab at Fury and Talos. And she's like, well, we see how that worked before. And she's like, we're not going to be like Fury and Talos. We're going to leave all the love and friendship out of this. This is just working relationship. You and me, that's it. I do something for you. You do something for me. No illusions about it. All right. Kind of feels... I wonder if anyone's like gone, hey, they're saying that the men couldn't do it and they were overly emotional. I kind of actually do like that this juxtaposition that the men characters made it more personal than just a business transaction. I actually really do enjoy that. But I'm pretty sure, well, no, Sonya does seem like the type that she would be friends with Gaia, and then when Gaia is trying to do the wrong thing and outlived her usefulness, pop. Even though she can't now because she literally has the powers of everybody in the MCU thus far. Thus far. Probably only an X-Men could take her out. Too bad we don't have those yet. I digress. I digress. So we come to an interesting part in the MCU where Gaia, and she's going to be leading her people. They're going to work with MI6 or whatever, whoever Sonya works for, MI6, MI13, whatever, Mission Impossible, James Bond, whatever. And they're going to do their job for them, but she's going to help them find a place that they can go. Maybe half of the million, maybe thousands will stay on Earth, while others go back up into space to make the agreement because of the thing with Vara. I can see that working out, right? And we do see, because Gaia frees everyone that's in the compound. Rhodie was in that compound, and so was Everett Ross, guy from Black Panther, played by Martin Freeman. You know, the Hobbit guy, right? So my question is, how long was he down there? Was he really in the last Black Panther movie? Was he in Wakanda Forever? Or was that a Skrull? Because these Skrulls seem to just... It's weird to me to look at aliens and aliens be like, oh, you all fight each other because you look different and you're all lumped together. When you all were fighting another race of people who are either blue or look like humans, and you all were fighting because you're different. Hypocrisy much. Digression. How long has he been out? And then they purposely did this to us to mess with us. When he looks at Rhodes and goes, Colonel Rhodes, how long have you been here? He's in a white t-shirt, y'all. And this was kind of semi-spoiled for me now that I think about it. We don't have a real answer for this. How long was Rhodie down there since Civil War? Was the time they snatched him up when he got hurt? Because he can barely get out of the pod. He can't stand. He can't stand, y'all. So, was Rhodie a Skrull during Endgame? Does Rhodie not know that his best friend is technically dead and has been dead for the last 4 or 5 years in universe? Or did they scoop him up at the end of Endgame, and because he's been there for so long, he can't walk? I don't know. And it's starting to look bad because he probably has been grabbed since Civil War. He's supposed to get... Armor Wars has become a movie now, which Don Cheadle deserves his own MCU movie. Flat out. Don't cancel that movie. Bob Iger, you've already ruined things. But maybe this is what Armor Wars is going to be. In addition to the whole working with Ironheart, whatever, he goes, oh man. So it looks like this Skrull a-hole has just given out this dark technology to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Now I got to go and get everything back. While people also don't really trust me because I've been a Skrull for the last 5 to 6 years. That actually pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. That sucks that you did that to him. And you know what else sucks that you did? Maria Hill is actually dead. No LMD here. Unless you're going to show me an LMD at a special event. Or do you plan on bringing her back when we have Is this not Secret Invasion? When we have Secret Wars? I mean, there is a Maria Hill that's like a Thor cop during the Secret Wars thing. They made a little hero click out of her. That's actually a thing. But what? Now what? So this is just it. She gone. Talos is gone. Gaia worked for MI whatever. That's it. That's it. This is like one of the worst season finales of the Disney Plus MCU stuff. And I legitimately, before I hit play on here, I had to think about some of the endings. And this isn't a bad ending per se because, like, I'm gonna go back. Mephisto didn't show up at the end of Wanda, and neither did the mutants. That kind of sucked, but that wasn't why that didn't make it a bad ending. Loki's bad because we didn't see the Mephisto or the mutants. That didn't make it bad. What's if you actually I can't think of anything else where people were like hungry to see things. Like the ending for Falcon and Winter Soldier felt like the ending of a movie. They wrapped things up and it was actually very well done. WandaVision, really good big end fight scene, really well done. Loki is a game changer, magnificently done. What If is like a miniature phase 1 because they had that big old Avengers or Guardians of the Multiverse thing at the end. That was good. Miss Marvel was an odd one because the kid felt betrayed. Like Miss Marvel was actually top 4 shows, period. The ending was kind of floundering, but it leads into a movie. I'm biased towards Hawkeye. Just putting it out there. Hawkeye's my favorite Avenger. Love Jimmy Renner. Love Kate Bishop. It's also I love Christmas, so that's a Christmas theme. I enjoyed that completely. I like the She-Hulk show, but that I can't say with a straight face that was amazing ending. Moon Knight was fantastic. That better get a season 2. Straight up. Do not do that to Mark Spector. I don't care if you're going to give him 4 episodes. Get rid of the Echo show. Sorry, Echo. Get rid of Agatha. I love Agatha too from the Scarlet Witch show from WandaVision. She don't need her own show. Finish up these stories and then give us X-Men. Just all I'm saying. So it's a lot easier for me just to tell you what the top 4 shows are as opposed to going what were the worst endings that I think about it. Like top 4 shows. WandaVision, Loki, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. That 5th show could be whatever you want it to be. And what's bad about Secret Invasion is that Secret Invasion has some of the best acting. I've enjoyed this show from beginning. This ending had me kind of mad. This ending had me mad and conflicted. That's why this review is like over 50% of the final episode, which is very funny to think about that because I'm conflicted. Like, what do you give this? It wasn't dog water. It tied up what it needed to tie up, and it left. This will have ramifications in the MCU with Armor Wars, with Captain America, with the upcoming Marvel's movie that I think that movie's in October, November. I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember, and I'm not going to look it up right now. I'll put it in the comments later. But 3 different movies all have ramifications from this show, which also ties into Miss Marvel show, right? Which also ties into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Does it tie into anything else? No, it does not. And that's cool. That's fine. Maybe in time I will come to appreciate this. I love that the centerpiece was Nick Fury. He should have got his own movie a long time ago. Before Winter Soldier, he should have had Nick Fury and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You can introduce so many famous agents from the comics in there. You want to kill them off? Cool. Make us love them in this movie? Then kill them off later. Or have them be turncoats like Crossbones was, right? But all in all, Nick Fury, his relationship with Priscilla was great. Sonya, my goodness. Coleman, she was amazing in here. Ben Mendelsohn, amazing in here. Like, the acting is fantastic. Gravik having real motivation at the end. I'm like, ooh, you probably should have done that maybe episode 3, and then people might care a little bit more about him. Now he just kind of just looks like a crazy a-hole. Just saying. But great acting all across the board. I gotta give this a 3.5, and that 0.5 comes from knowing that this is gonna tie into 3 other movies. Just knowing that's what a 0.5 comes from. Initially I was gonna give it a 4, but I gotta take a 0.5 off just from. I don't even know if that's even my own feelings. I don't know if that's my feelings coming into play here. Being upset about what happened to Rhodie, now understanding when did Everett Ross get taken? Oh crap, Okay, how do you all know how to use those powers? Like, the pacing of this felt off. She should have just took 5 and 6, smushed them together. I'd have been, that's a good season finale. Gave it a 4. Would have gave that a 4. Period. This is 3.5. Not really their best work, but you know what? Good for Samuel L. Jackson's character finally getting some kind of recognition, even though most of the story he was being taunted and shat on. But they let Nick Fury be black, and I'm all for it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy this? You know, there's some people that are like, hey, I'm actually liking the show, and there are a lot of people like, this sucks. Don't think it's in the middle. It's in the middle. It's as close to, it's weird that you're going to call it average when the acting was amazing. Because I'm pretty sure I gave last episode a 4. A low 4. But 4 nonetheless. The entire series from me gets a low 4. It's a low 4 just because this ending, I don't know. This ending just doesn't feel right. And it's the ending's a 3.5. The entire series is a low 4 for me. No higher, no lower. It's not boring. I definitely paid attention to everything that was being said. And the speeches were great. The acting was great. Once you caught on to what was going on, you paid attention to everything, and there's a lot of tension in there. But there were some things that should have been fixed a bit. We're kind of some of the MCU Disney Plus villains are kind of suffering. You know, Flag Smasher. It's like, oh, I get where you're coming from, but I don't care about you. Oh no, you died. I still don't really care about you. Gravik. Oh man, I get where you're coming from. I don't really care about you. Not really the same as with Agatha. Not really the same as Kang and He Who Remains. Or Sylvie. Sylvie can count as a villain in this. The villains in Miss Marvel. Like, I get it. See, Miss Marvel show was great, though. I still say that show was great. We're not going to talk about She-Hulk. I like She-Hulk, but I'm not going to pretend like the villains were amazing. They were freaking cliche. I think the best thing about that show was seeing all the callbacks to several B-League and D-League villains. I mean, superheroes and villains like Leapfrog and Miracle Man, and the homie Daredevil, right? That all was that's what really made the show great. I'm hoping if we do more with She-Hulk, we get higher caliber cameos, like something from the Thing. The Thing should have been in there. The Thing, Wolverine, Spider-Man, more Fantastic Four stuff. Something else for her, and give her a better ending. You could have ended it like a court show. But I'm talking about other stuff right now. I'm sorry. Just Secret Invasion series, low 4. This episode, 3.5. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be notified of more reviews like this one. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me rant, rave, and everything under the sun about this series. Be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes. Don't be a jerk, all right? Take care of yourselves out there. Be safe. All right, guys, my social medias are at the bottom right there. You can go ahead, give me a follow, reach out. I'm not mean, so don't be a jerk, all right? Realize that you're not alone in this world. There's someone out there that cares about you. So if you need to talk to somebody, make sure you reach out to someone. Someone would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. With that, I'm Shane. Can't wait to talk about the next Marvel thing, which... thinking I need to talk about X-Men soon. Excelsior, True Believers.